Codie, I'm just like, I'm so happy that you're breaking this down for everyone, because I think it's just not what I'm hearing. It's not what people are talking about. And I'm glad, because it's not the get rich quick solution either. It's not the, hey, you can be really rich in 12 months and not worry about anything and that kind of
I
feeling.
wish.
Yeah, you wish. And I think I really appreciate you nailing it by just saying it's grit, right? That's what's required. That's deeply required. What's a skill that you think you wish you'd known you had to develop at the beginning of this journey that you learned too late?
I wish that I didn't have stories to myself about me being bad at math and money. I think most people have a story when they're younger about how bad they are at math. I have one that I think really messed me up. I was in it was high school. I was at Arcadia High, and I had a math teacher, and I wasn't very good at math. Like I struggled. I think I might have a little bit of dyslexia. I'm not sure, but I just couldn't get the numbers to stay in my head correctly. And so I was sort of struggling. And I remember one day the teacher was getting really frustrated with me, and teaching is a hard job, so I get it. But he looked at me in front of the class and he said, "Man, I think Helen Keller would have a better shot at winning an archery contest than you would at winning in finance." And at the time, I was heartbroken about this and embarrassed, and did it in the way teenagers do, just I don't care, whatever. But I was very sad about it. And then I love my parents deeply, but my parents always used to say to my brother, "You're so smart. You're so smart. You're so smart. You're so smart." And to me, they would always say, "You work so hard. You work so hard. You work so hard." And at the time, I was kind of mad. I'm also smart. What about me? And they would always be like, "Well, Codie's not very good at math." In the same way that they would say, "I'm not very good at singing." The singing is true. I'm not good at that one. But that math thing stuck with me for a long time. And so I always thought that it was big and hard and scary to be quote unquote good at math. And when it comes to making money, the math is really simple, guys. And I'm bad at making math, so bad that Helen Keller would be better at archery than I am. And so if any part of this skill is scaring you, I think it often starts with "Oh my God, I look at a spreadsheet and I panic."
Yeah.
I have to calculate something and I panic. I look at a calculator and I panic. And I would say just lean into that slightly, because I think in finance, we do a very sneaky thing, which is I think we try to make it seem really scary and hard for the average person to become rich. Why? Because if it's scary and hard for you to do it, guess what I get to do? I get to charge a lot of money for it. And so that's why most of us take our money and think about it for a second. We take our money and we give it to other people to take care of. Now, when you give your kids to other people to take care of 100%, there are opinions about that. Yeah. People say, "No, you gotta take care of your kids. You gotta grow your kids." But with wealth, we can just say, no, I don't understand anything. I just give it to this guy over here and he figures it out. That's really not how we should treat money. And so the main skill that I think you should think about is, one of my mentors said to me, "Money is a cruel mistress. She'll leave you if you don't pay attention to her." And I think about that a lot. Just give the money a little attention, give the math a little attention. You're more capable than you think you are. And it's really not possible to be bad at this type of math. So if in your head you think, "I'm bad at math, I'm bad at spreadsheets," it's really not possible. "I'm bad at calculus, but you can figure this stuff out."
Codie, you are awesome. And I love that advice. And I think everyone who's listened and watched this episode now has a game plan of how to negotiate something at their workplace, figure out how to invest in a company or a small business, recognize if you're at that place of, "I just want to get over the fear that I'm bad at math or that money is bad." And I can't wait for everyone to dive into Main Street Millionaire. This is the book that Codie's got out right now. I want you to go grab a copy if you've enjoyed today's discussion. This is one of those books that I hope you read with your friends, share insights. Maybe you'll invest in something together, build something together. It's a great book to pass on to a family member or a friend who's been struggling with money, thinking about it. Please do not hesitate with this, because it's so easy to keep pushing money off and keep having it be a source of anxiety in your life. And I think Codie's broken it down and make it really simple based on how to overcome your fears and go create something brilliant. So Codie, thank you for putting your heart and soul into this work.